And let me record and let me share the screen. Okay. Right. Right. Okay, fine. Right. So if you see here, drop table name. If I run this query, okay, table will be successfully dropped. You can see the, okay, you cannot see here. Why? Because I didn't refresh it right earlier. Now, if I run this query, select star from student, I'll get the error. Okay, invalid object name. Why? Because the whole object is deleted. Okay, the whole object is deleted. You cannot see the same table now. Why? Because the entire table is deleted from your particular database. So that is the difference between delete, truncate, and drop. Delete, truncate, both are same. Okay. Delete will delete the records one by one, whereas truncate will delete the all records at a time by deallocating the pages. Okay. Clear? Any issues, any doubts? Right. So fine. In the log file, what will be there? If you go inside the log file, what will be there?
Uncommitted data.
Virtual log files. Okay. If you go inside the log file, you will have virtual log files. If you go inside the virtual log files,
Active and inactive
active
transactions.
VLFs means active VLF, inactive VLF. Okay. Virtual log files means active VLF, inactive VLF.
Current transactions and
Active VLF means those are which are holding the transactions are called active VLF, which are not holding the transactions are called inactive VLF. Means if you are holding some transactions, that is a active VLF. If that VLF is empty, nothing is holding, then it is an inactive VLF. If you go inside the VLF, you will have log blocks. If you go inside the log blocks, you will have log records. Okay, if you go inside the log blocks, you will have log record. Log record means I told you, right? One transaction is called one log record. Insert into table name, delete from table name, everything. Okay, so when compared to the data file, sometimes log file size will be very huge. See, log file is reusable. Again, log file is reusable. Once I told you, right? Once the whole transaction is completed, imagine you are inserting 1 lakh records. Once all 1 lakh during this activity, the log file growth will be increased. Maybe it will grow for 10 GB, 20 GB, or 100 GB also. During this activity, while inserting the records into the database, all the transactions first it will be moved to the log file, right? So during insertion or deletion or updation, anything, the log file growth will be bigger. Okay, it will grow until the transaction is going to be completed. Once the transaction is committed, then what happened, you know, it will truncate all the uncommitted transactions from the log file. It will truncate all the uncommitted transactions from the log file. So earlier it took 100 GB. Okay, if you see here, if you go to the database properties, okay, any database properties, files, it's taking this much time. Right, to go to the file space, okay, if you see here, I have a log file, right? So log file, while doing the transactions, either inserts, update, deletes, now it is showing 8 MB. Okay, if you keep on inserting the data, if you keep on deleting the data, if you keep on updating the data, okay, the log file size will grow for 1 GB, 10 GB, 100 GB, sometimes, okay, 1 TB, 1.5 TB, also it will grow. Yes, transaction ran successfully. All the transactions are committed. All the data which is there in the log file is completely committed. Now imagine we have 100 GB log file. Okay, we have 100 GB log file. So once the transactions are committed to the log file, okay, you will have some free space in the log file, right? So if you see here, if you select here log file, you can see what is the available free space. In the whole size is 8 MB. In that 7.48 MB is free. Okay, imagine, okay, your log file size is 100 GB. In case if the transactions are not committed, you can see you cannot see the available free space. Very less free space will be there. In case if all the transactions are committed, you can see 90%, 100%, sometimes 99% available free space is there. Why? Because the transaction, the data in those transactions are permanently moved to the disk. Right now, there is no use of those transactions. Those transactions will be truncated from the log file. If it is truncated from the log file, still log file won't release the unused space to the operating system. For that, what we have to do, we have to shrink the log file. We have to shrink the log file. What happened once you shrink the log file? Once you shrink the log file, it is going to release all the unused space to the OS operating system. So as a DBA, shrinking operation is a regular activity in the organization. How to shrink the database or log file? Right click on the database, go to the tasks, go to the shrink, go to the files. Okay, you want to shrink the log file, right? Don't shrink the data file. I'll tell you why we cannot shrink the data file. Okay, select the log file, then you can see how much space is currently allocated, how much space is currently using. Okay, how much available free space is there. Based on that, in case 100 GB is allocated, 99% available free space is there, we'll simply select this option. We are going to keep it either 512 MB or 1024 MB, whatever you want, you can keep it. Okay, if the log file size is very big, go for 1024. It depends upon the organization strategy. Some people will put 512 MB, some people will put 1024 MB. MB means GB, 1024 MB means 1 GB. Means 100 GB log file is there. I am shrinking it to 1 GB so that it will release the 99 GB to the operating system, so that in the operating system you can see some free space. Okay, in the operating system, like in the drives, you can see some free space. As of now, my database size and my log file size is very less, right? Don't shrink for this 7.5 MB, 1 MB, 2 MB, 1 GB, like that. Shrink the log file in case if you can see a good amount of free space, like at least 5 GB, 10 GB, 20 GB. Don't shrink for 1 GB, 2 GB and all. No use. Got it? So once the transactions are successfully committed, once the data is committed, once the data is written to the data file, now the log file will become free. Okay, so that's why data file will grow. Okay, if the data is increasing, your data file will grow. Like initially it will be 100 GB, then later 200 GB, then 500 GB, then 1 TB, 2 TB. Data file will grow. Okay, until you are inserting the data. But log file is not like that. Only once you will give 100 GB or 200 GB. Every time it is going to reuse that 100 or 200 GB. Once all the data is committed to the data file, again the 100 GB will be free. Again new transaction comes, again it will process the new transaction. Again once the transaction is completed, again the log file is free. Got it? The data file will grow, keep on growing, but log file not. Log file will grow only while doing the transactions, like inserts, deletes, update. Only during the business it will grow. Once business is committed, then the log file will release the unused space to the operating system. Sometimes it won't release. For that, we have to shrink the log file to release the unused space to the operating system. Is it clear or any doubts here, please? Clear? Any issues, any doubts?
Sir, is there any way to find whether the data is committed or not to data file from log file?
Is there any way? Actually, automatically it will be committed. Once you gave the commit query, automatically it will be committed.
Yes, sir, but some developers will run queries, right, sir?
Hmm.
So if suppose if they execute like uncommitted transactions, so how can we find that?
How can we find that? Means there is another way, indirect way is you can see what queries they are running. In case if you don't see commit at the end of their query, you can easily understand that is an uncommitted transaction. Okay, there are some queries, customized queries are there. There is nothing like a small kind of S1 score help DB, like this kind of queries are not there. You can go with the customized script, okay, so that it will help you what is the committed transactions, what are uncommitted transactions and all. Okay, in case you want, I'll
Okay.
check by next class and
Okay.
I'll update you. Okay.
Sure, sir. Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
And one more thing, sir. When I shrink a log file, it went to minus, sir. Available free space
Yes,
went to
very
minus.
good, very good,
Why it
excellent.
has
Okay,
went to minus, sir?
so not while shrinking, actually earlier itself it went to negative. Okay, negative size. Why? Because if the whole log file is completely full, there is no free space, then sometimes it will show you the negative value here in the log file size or available free space. Negative means nothing is there, completely the whole log file is completely full. Once even though it is full, still data is getting, then it will show you the negative value. Okay, so for that, the same solution, like you know the solution, right? Especially you know the solution as you're working. Okay, so you have to check why the log file is not reused by using the
Yes.
select name log reuse by description from sister databases. Take the action accordingly. Again, I'll explain you guys how to shrink the log file. This is basic discussion how to shrink the log file. Shrinking log file is a logical operation. You have to shrink multiple times. Sometimes it won't happen even though you shrink it. You have to do some of the fixes like taking the log backups and different things. Once the course is completed, at the end of our classes, I'll tell you how to shrink the log file exactly. Okay, right? Any doubts, any issues?
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, I hope it is clear, everyone, right? Right.
Yes.
So let me quickly show you the VLFs. Okay, I told you, right? What is the proof for that, sir? You are saying in the log files you will have VLFs. How to find out the VLFs? Okay, we will have dbcc log info. dbcc log info will help you. Okay, how many log files are there for each database? How many VLFs, especially how many VLFs are there for each database? dbcc log info will tell you how many VLFs are there for each log file. You can see here 8. The number of rows are 8, means currently what is the database, on what database you ran this query? Sales database, right? Sales database log files contains 8 VLFs. Here you can see file ID 2 means what? Can anyone tell me what is meant by file ID 2? What is meant by file ID 2?
Log file.
Log file. Yesterday only you told, right? File ID 2 means log file. Okay. So if you see here, all you can see all VLFs are part of the file ID 2 only. File ID 2 means log file. This is the size of each VLF. Okay. Forget about offset, F sequence number and all. You can see the status, right? You can ask, sir, in this 8 VLFs, what is the active VLF? What is inactive VLF? The status which is showing 2 is an active VLF. All zeros are inactive VLFs. Means even though I'm having 8 VLF files, currently 1 VLF is holding the transactions. Remaining all 7 VLFs are free VLFs only. Clear?
But this too is the uncommitted transaction, sir.
Yes, you can say like that. This 2 is having currently, maybe it is holding the uncommitted transactions. Yeah. As per our discussion, it should be that only, like the active VLF means it has to hold the transaction. So this may be a uncommitted transaction VLF only. Clear? Any doubts, any issues, please? Right,
Sir,
clear,
in
right?
this,
Yes.
sir, in this way also we can find out which are uncompleted transactions. We can find it, sir.
Not transaction, which are
Right.
VLFs only we can find out. Okay. We cannot see, right, which transaction is uncommitted in the log file. We cannot see, right? Right. Just you can see this is a active VLF. Remaining all are inactive VLF. Like this way. In this way you can find it. Okay. So yesterday we have discussed about the pages, right? I'll show you the pages today. Okay, let me show you the pages, and I'm going to open the page also. Okay, again, this is an undocumented command. Don't run this command in your organization databases. Okay, just for practice purpose, you can run this dbcc login for whenever you want. Okay, no issues. But now we are going to see the pages. Okay, so let me open the pages. Let me show you the data inside the pages. Okay, right. So we have a query DBCC, okay. What is that query? Ind page, DBCC ind page, okay. So before running this query, we'll have some parameters. Let me open the document. I'll show you the pages and I'll complete the session for today, okay. DBCC page, DBCC trace, okay, DBCC page. And before that, we'll have one more query called DBCC ind, okay. Right. So DBCC and DBCC page. Right. So now I want to see, okay, any tables are there in the student? No tables. Let me go with the sales, okay. Here I can see only one table, right? As I have truncated all the student table, now I can see only one table. What happened to this? Okay, so let it be, no issues. We have one table in the sales database. I'll check because of some slowness. It is doing the error. Okay, right here, DBCC ind command, what it will tell you, you know, DBCC ind command will tell you on what pages your table is stored. Okay, on what pages your table is stored. Okay, so now let me change the database name sales, and I want to see the all the pages that are allocated by the items table. Okay, my table name is items table. Items table. Okay, and -1. We have three options here. -1 or 1. You can go with -1, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let me run this query. Okay, if you see here, if you remember or not, my items table contains 1 lakh records. Okay, if you see here, my items table is stored on 391 pages. My item table stored on 391 pages. In this 391, one page is a system page, IAM page, okay, and remaining are 390 pages are data pages only. Okay, so 391, 1,11 records, calculator. Okay, 1,11 records are stored on 390 pages. Okay, total how many pages stored per total how many records are stored per page? 1,11 divided by, okay, 390 pages. That means each page contains average 256 records. Okay, that's not an issue. Okay, right. So if you see here the output, okay, so this is my IAM page. Page file ID is 1. What is file ID is 1? What is meant by file ID 1? If you see all pages are from file ID 1 only, what it means?
Master database.
MDF file, MDF file.
MDF
Okay,
file,
not
MDF.
master, MDF file. Right. So this is your page IDs. Page ID 320, 321, 322, 323. I told you, right? Every page will have page IDs. Okay, like that you can see the page IDs. IAM file ID. Okay, means IAM page means what? Why I am getting only IAM page details here? Why I can see only IAM page details here? Why I cannot see other system pages? Why? Because IAM page will tracks on what and all pages your table is stored, right? So which is very helpful, right? I want to track all the pages that belongs to a single table. That information is stored in the IAM page, right? So that's why I can see only IAM page details here. IAM page file ID, IAM FID means IAM page file ID, which is stored in the file ID 1 means IAM page is stored in the MDF file. This is IAM page ID. Okay, 307. So 307 is my IIM page, which is the first page, is my IIM page. Okay. So all the pages information will be stored in the IIM page only. That's why this number is not changed. See here, 307 only, you can see the IIM page ID. This is my object ID. I told you, right? Each object will have object ID, table ID. Okay. So if you go like this, okay, this is fine. In row data means your data file, data page. Okay. So like this, you can see here, you can see page type 10. Page type 10 is a IAM file, IAM page. Page type 1 is data page. Data page, page type is 1. Okay. Right. Now I want to open the page. Okay. 320, I'll open the page 320. I'll show you how it look like. Okay. This is the query. Before running this dbcc page command, I cannot open the pages physically, right? So I can open the page using this query. dbcc, before running this query, you have to turn on this. Okay. You have to, in case I don't want to run this line, I can simply put the comments. So guys, whenever you see two lines like this, it's a comment. Okay. So even though you execute, it won't execute. Why? Because it's a comment. Got it? Comment won't execute. If it is single line, you can see two slashes. Okay. If it is multiple lines, you can see like this. Okay. Star, where is star, 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 slash, and like whatever lines you have. Control C, Control V, Control V. Until you close the star. Okay. Star, slash. Right. Okay. In case you want to comment multiple lines, you can use this hash star and a star hash. Okay. So in case you want to, instead of putting a comment line by line, like double slash, double, what we can double line. Okay. Instead of putting like this, instead of commenting like this, in case you want to comment multiple lines. Okay. How to do that? Hash star, and till where you are going to close this star hash, till the time forward slash, not hash, forward slash. Okay. Till that line, it is going to treat as comments only. Okay. So in case if you see like this in the script, sometimes in the scripts you can see like this. Don't worry, it won't execute. Even though you run it, it won't execute. It will simply tell you command completed successfully, and nothing is there actually. It won't execute anything. Okay. Simply if you, without running, without selecting these two, in case if I run this particular line, see here. Now if I run it, I'll get an error. Okay. So this is how. So double line and this this symbol. Okay. Both are used for comments. Okay. In case you comment the lines, it won't execute. In case if they executed also, it won't impact anything. Okay. Now let me trace on the flag. Okay. In case if I want to run this query, first of all, I have to enable one trace flag. Okay. That's why I'm running this trace on 3604. So which will help us to find the output of this page. Now dbcc page, the first part is database name. What is my database name? Sales database. The next one is file ID. My file ID is 1. This is the third one is page ID. I want to open 320 page. One is a display option, like you want in detailed view or basic view or standard view. You can use either 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let me go with 1. We'll see what and all details we can see now. Again, guys, don't worry about this. Okay. This is just to learn internals. That's it. If you are interested, you can concentrate. If you are not interested, leave it. Nothing will happen. Okay. So if you see here, page 1:320, what it mean? 1:320 means what? First file 320 page. First file means what? Your MDF file. Okay. In the MDF file 320 page. You just opened MDF file 320 page. If you go down, now you can see. Okay. Let me drag a little bit up. Right. Now you can see here. This is the output buffer. Forget about all these things. I'll show you the page header. I told you, right? Every page will have page header. This is page header section. Okay. What and all will be stored inside the page header? Your page ID. Okay. Your page ID will be stored inside the page header. This is the page ID, header version. one. Yeah, okay. So this is your page ID and header version, type of the page. Okay, you can see here. Let me drag little bit left side. Right. Okay. How much free space is there? Okay, you can see here. If you go down, you can see the free space also. How much free space is there? You can see in the header page only, page header only. Page header, where is that? I'm free can't. Okay, this is like, see here, just you can see all the values. Okay, allocation unit ID 256, allocation unit ID. Allocation unit ID means your object ID. Okay, object ID. This is your object ID. And free data, this much free data, and torn bytes, flag ID, fragmentation ID. Somewhere you can see the free percentage. Okay, so allocation status. See here, this is the allocation status. Okay, GAM. What is this 1:2? What is this 1:2? Can anyone tell me? What is this 1:320? 1:320 means what? Or one column 320. What is this? What is this meaning? What is the meaning of this one column 320? We have already discussed it, right?
320 page number in
320
PDF file.
pages.
Three
MDF file. MDF file.
first file 320th page. That's it. Okay. In the same way, 1:2 means first file, second page is your GAM page. Means in your MDF file, okay, the second page is GAM page, which is allocated. In your MDF file, the third page is SGAM page, which is not allocated. In your MDF file, the first page is PFS file, PFS page. Okay, one column one means first file, first page, which is PFS page. See here, 100% full. 100 PCT full means 100% full. Okay, in the same way, you can see differential changed map. 1:6. First file, sixth page. Minimally logged or not. 1:7. First file, seventh page, which is not minimally logged. So the page header section is completed. Now the second portion is data. Okay, if you go down, okay, this is my records, record by record, each slot. Okay, if you go down here, let me use cursor. Okay, so this is my slot 0. Slot 0 means first record. The whole thing is my first record. You can see the record also. What is my first record here? In case if I run select star from table name, where is that? Okay, let me run that. Select star from table name. Now, what is the table name? Items, right? Okay, so what is the first record? Computer table, right? Okay, if you go here, okay, slot 0, right? See here, computer table, which will be encrypted. You cannot see the exact record. You can see the encrypted value. Okay, computer table. Other values will be encrypted. Okay, like that. How many computer tables are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next is eighth record is TPOI, right? So till then you can see computer table only. Okay, so slot 1 computer table. Okay, slot 2 computer table. You can see here at the end of the value. Okay, computer table, computer table, computer table. Okay, computer table. Okay, computer table, computer table. Now you can see TPOI. Okay, the next record is what? After that iron box, which is IRA box. Okay, if you go down, you can see the next record as IRA box. Okay, so in this way you can open the page, but again, just for your interest only. Okay, don't run these queries and all on your production environment. You cannot see like that. Sometimes pages will be corrupted. Okay, don't try to open. These are the undocumented commands. If Microsoft came to know that you are using some undocumented commands, they don't give you the support and all. Okay, so just for practice purpose, I just want to show you the internals of the page, how pages look like, right? This is how you can see slot 0, slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, slot 4, like that. These are all the slots. Slot means record. I told you, right? Row offset, go down. At the end of each page, you can see row offset. Okay, so how many records currently this is holding? 248, 251, 253, 253. 253, and I guess 254 is all. Yeah, 254. Okay. In this page, we have 254. I told you right earlier, we did some calculation. Each page hold 256, something like that records, right? As you cannot share a single record between the two pages, so it is saving 255 records. Okay. You can see slot 254. This is the last slot. We have started at slot 0, not from slot 1. So slot 0 to slot 254 means total 255 records we are storing in this space. Got it? So this is your offset table. Each record address will be stored here. Okay. This is the actual offset value. Offset means address. Okay. So 254. See here 0 row 254 0x FE. Where is that 0x FE? Somewhere you can see that one. Offset 0x FE 7275 0x. Yes, this one. You can see the address here, right? So each address, like 253 record address. Okay, if you go up, you can see the 253 record address also. Okay, 0x 1C 4F. Okay, if you go inside the row offset table, 0x 1C 4F, like that, the row offset table will store all the addresses of each record. Okay, this is your row offset table. Okay, in this way you can see the row offset table. You can see all the 255 records here in the row offset table. This is how you can see the page internally. Okay, is it clear? Any doubts, any issues? If it's clear, that's it for today. Okay, the next Friday we are going to discuss about the security. What is meant by security? What is login? What is user? Right, before that I'll give you some assignments. Okay, right, the assignment is, okay, we have system databases, right? Master model MSDB TempDB. Okay, so you know, right, how to add files to the database. I guess, I hope everyone knows how to add and files and file groups to the database. Okay, simply go to the database properties. You can go to the files page or file groups page. Simply click on add files. Okay, just click on add, click OK, will add you the file groups. Click add file group here, give the file group name, click OK, will add you the file group. We have system databases, right? Now I want to know for how many system databases I can add files, I can add file groups. Same thing, you have to go to the master, go to the file space, click on add, okay, and give the file name, click OK. In the same way, file group, click on add file group and give the file group name, click OK. Like that, I want to know how many system databases supports adding the files and file groups. Clear? Is it clear? Any issues, any doubts? Everyone is clear, right? I want
Yes.
to know how many system database
Yes.
supports adding files and file groups. Please, once the assignment is completed, please send it to my WhatsApp number. I need a table like this. Okay, I need a table like this. Just prepare a table like this. Okay, so database file groups. Okay, so master, yes, yes, means we can add files and file groups. Okay, I don't know the answer. I'm just simply giving you the example. Okay, yes, no. Like this, I need a table for all the system databases, master model MSDB and TempDB. Okay, I need a small table. Just take the screenshot. Once it is completed, take the screenshot and send it to me. That is the assignment. Okay, very small assignment. You can complete in 5 minutes. Okay, if you install the SQL Server. Right, if you still people are facing the issues in configuring virtual machines and all, you can still install SQL Server in your local laptop just for practice purpose. Okay, only for remote connections. I just want to show you how to connect to the server remotely in the organization. That's why I just configured this remote settings and all. Okay, in case if you have a challenges in configuring the, okay, in configuring the virtual machines, Windows servers and all, you can still install only SQL Server in your local laptop. Okay, Fine, that's it for today. In case of any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll close the session for today. Everyone is clear? No doubts?
Yes, sir. No issue.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. We'll meet on the next
Okay.
Friday. Bye. Thank you.
Bye, sir.
Thank you.